Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather when I seen this one pop up today. It's kind of taking a little bit of a backseat, but it really shouldn't. And once again, I think it was yesterday, right? We pointed out that Biden, if nothing else, is at least following through on his promises. And this is another one. President Biden to sign executive order creating the Presidential Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States. I think you can tell by the title exactly what this is about. Yes, they are going to be expanding the courts, my guys. I guess we had to wait until after the election to figure out his position on that, because you remember, look, whatever position I take, man, that's going to be the talking point. Clearly, that should have been a sign. That should have been one of those mythical red flags out there. That was a clear indication that, oh yeah, they were going to fucking crack that motherfucker wide open. And you'll be surprised, actually, who's going to be on the panel. And we're going to go through a few of them. And just a cursory search reveals their true intentions, and it's not going to be a surprise whatsoever. But here's the executive order in and of itself. President Biden will today issue an executive order informing the Presidential Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States, comprised of a bipartisan group, it's not, of experts on the court and the court reform debate. There really is no debate. Nobody wants it, but yeah, that's the only branch of politics that the Democrats don't overwhelmingly control at this point, or at least have a significant influence in. And they've been seeing Clarence Thomas wanting to do a whole bunch of stuff that they aren't necessarily fond of, so they want to find a way to mitigate any sort of potential loss or any sort of uncontrollable aspect of government. So try to lock it down forever and ever. It's not just going to be a couple of Supreme Court justices. It'll be like 12, 14. Let's make sure that they're going to be there for fucking ever. The commission, in addition to legal and other scholars, the commissioner includes former federal judges and practitioners who have appeared before courts, as well as advocates, a lot of advocates, for the reform of democratic institutions. Yeah. Oh, they want them reformed, but in one way. Not helpful. And of the administration of justice. The expertise represented on the commission includes constitutional law, history, political science, and activism. The commission's purpose is to provide an analysis of the principal argument in a contemporary public debate for and against Supreme Court reform, including an appraisal of the merits and legality of particular reform proposals. The topics we'll examine include the genesis of the reform debate. You should probably define what you mean by reform. Term limits? That would be nice. I'd be on board with that, but they aren't concerned about that. The court's rule in the constitutional system, try to just make them into figureheads in black robes, if they can't expand. The length of service, that's good. Oh, they'll just make it so it's a familial thing, so once they appoint somebody, it'll just be their kid that gets to serve for them in perpetuity. That'd be nice. And the turnover of justices on the court, and the membership and size of the court, there it is, hidden right there, and the court's case selection rules and practices. I'd imagine maybe election cases would probably come up on that. You can't take any of those because it's not in the Constitution. To ensure that the Commission's report is comprehensive and informed by the diverse spectrum of views. When you see that word diverse, do you just get a little tingle down there? You know exactly where this is going. It will hold public meetings. I'm sure they will be very easy to see. Or if you can, make sure that you have a stress ball readily available to hear the views of other experts and groups and interested individuals with varied perspectives on the issues it will be examining. The executive order directs that the commission complete its report within 180 days of first public meeting. This action is part of the administration's commitment to closely study measures to improve the federal judiciary, including those that would expand access to the court system. The two co-chairs of the commission are Bob Bauer, we'll get into him, and Christina Rodriguez. Even just a cursory look at some of these people, and we can take a look. I just did a couple of simple Google searches with their name and a couple of different terms that might expose their political leanings if their some cases rather expansive backgrounds aren't clear enough. So we got Michelle Adams here first and foremost, just running them down alphabetically. Michelle Adams is a professor of law at Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law, where she teaches constitutional law, federal courts, and federal civil rights. She recently appeared in Amend, The Fight for America, a 2021 Netflix documentary about the 14th Amendment. Yeah. She's the author of Containment, Detroit to the Supreme Court, and the Battle for Racial Justice in the North, forthcoming in 2022. I think that's all you need to know. Kate Andreas is a professor of law at the University of Michigan. That should tell you all you... No, I'm just kidding. She teaches and writes about constitutional law, labor and employment law, and administrative law with focuses on problems of economic and political inequality. Her work has been published in numerous books and journals, including Harvard Law Review, the NYU Law Review, the Supreme Court Review, and Yale Law Journal. So another elitist. How terrific. Who could have seen that coming? In 2016, Andreas was the recipient of Michigan Law School's L. Hart Wright Award for Excellence in Teaching. Andreas previously served as Special Assistant and Associate Counsel to President Obama and the Chief of Staff at the White House Counsel's Office. Very bipartisan so far. Jack M. Balkin is Knight Professor of Constitutional Law and First Amendment at Yale Law School. He's the founder and director of Yale's Information Society Project, an interdisciplinary center that studies law and new information technologies. He also directs the Abrams Institute of Freedom of Expression and the Knight Law and Media program at Yale. Balkin is a member of the American Law Institute and American Academics of Arts and Science, and founded and edits the group blog Balkanization. Let me read you something that Jack Balkin wrote in October 1st, 2017. The first 100 days of Donald Trump's presidency led many commentators to ask whether the United States was in the midst of a constitutional crisis. Drawing on previous works written from Stanford Levinson, this essay explains why this is not the case. Trump's demagogic rise to power, however, suggests that a different phenomenon is at work. Constitutional rot. I'll leave a link to the rest of this fucking drivel if you'd like to read it, but as you can see, once again, another bipartisan individual. Bob Bauer, the co-chair, is a professor of practice and distinguished scholar in residence at New York University School of Law and co-director of NYU's Law Legislative and Regulatory Process Clinic. He's co-authored numerous bipartisan reports on policy and legal reform. Oh, that's refreshing, including the American Voting Experience Report and Recommendations of Presidential Commission on Election Administration, Presidential Commission on Election Administration 2014. The State of Campaign Finance in the United States Bipartisan Policy Center 2018, and Democratizing Debates, and then Annenberg Working Group of Presidential Campaign Debate Reform 2015. So he's been very active lately. In his most recent work, he is the co-author with Jack Goldsmith of After Trump, Reconstructing the Presidency. He also publishes opinion pieces for the New York Times, Washington Post, and the Atlantic. Is anybody else picking up on a trend here? I think it's fairly fucking obvious. Listen, I think there's like 24 people on this list. I can run them down individual by individual if you like at a later date, once we get closer to this administration meeting with their public hearings. But I'm just going to pick a couple more because we all can see what the fuck is going on here. Bill Bowdy, Elisa Bodie, Guy Uriel E. Charles, Andrew Manuel Kespo, Walter Dellinger, Justin Driver, Richard H. Fallon Jr., who is old as shit. Let's take a look. I'll stop here. Joined the Harvard Law School faculty as an assistant professor in '82 and is currently Story Professor of Law. He is an affiliate professor at the University of Harvard Government Department. Fallon is a graduate of Yale University when it was still just a community college. He also earned a BA degree in philosophy, politics, and economics from Oxford University, so another elitist. He is the author of Nature of Constitutional Rights, The Invention of Logic of Strict Judicial Scrutiny from 2019, Law and Legitimacy in Supreme Court, The Dynamic Constitution, Implementing the Constitution, and co-editor of Hart and Welsher's The Federal Courts and the Federal System. Fallon is a fellow in the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, so he's entrenched in Hollywood too. You love to see it. And a member of the American Law Institute. He is a two-time winner of Harvard Law School's Sachs-Freuden Award, which is voted on annually by the school's graduating class to honor excellence in teaching. 2021, the federal court section of the American Association of Law Schools honored Fallon with its Lifetime Achievement Award. One piece that they didn't highlight is how the Trump family would have different rights from other individuals back in 2018 because reasons, obviously. So I'll just leave that one in there for you guys to read as well. We got Caroline Fredrickson, Heather Gerken, Nancy Gertner, Jack Goldsmith, Thomas B. Griffith, Tara Lee Grove. Grove has written extensively about federal judiciary, exploring issues related to judicial legitimacy and judicial independence. Her works have been published in prestigious law journals such as Law Harvard Review, Columbia Law Review, University of Pennsylvania, University of New York Law, Cornell Law, Vanderbilt Law, Law. The bitch knows about the law. And Tara Lee Grove is a member of the Federalist Society. Sucks to suck. So like I said, we can be here all day. I'm still scrolling down, and we are not but 3/4 of the way down. Kermit Roosevelt, Bertrand Ross, David A. Strauss, Adam White, Michael Waldman, and then that's the end of it. This is going to produce exactly the results that the Biden administration wants. They want to either curtail the Supreme Court, or they want to expand it to fit their means. Like I said, if you guys are interested, I will definitely be linking the articles that we took a look at very briefly. If you want a little bit more of an insight on those people as well, and we can also go through everybody on this list in a little bit more detail if you would like when we get closer to those meetings, because I'll definitely be keeping an eye on those because it's going to be an issue. And I thought that they might wait at least a little bit, but fuck, I guess we're treading on 3 months already. Jeez, I guess time flies when you're watching democracy rot all around you. Anyways, we got to go on to something a little bit more bright and sunny. Journeyman cornerback fucking shooting up his family. Anyways, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.